Okay, so our first series in this workout, we're gonna go deadlift, and then we're gonna be on the sled. So real simple today. We're keeping everything super simple today, but it's gonna be challenging. I really wanna push ourselves in the deadlift. This is gonna be the last week. We're gonna deadlift first. We're gonna move back to squat next week. So I'm in the hex bar again. Choose whatever modality you want. If you want the straight bar, great. If you need to stick with the kettlebell or dumbbells, that's also great too. But I really wanna push it today. So just a quick review. We have our feet set up about hip width apart. Okay, our feet are roots in the ground, so we're pushing those toes and feet down to the ground, spreading those toes, trying to spread the floor. Okay, get that core tight. We're not trying to tilt our pelvis back. We're not trying to tilt it forward. We're trying to keep it still where it is in that nice neutral position. Get set. When we drop back, we're trying to separate the pelvis and the leg. Get yourself set, so we're connecting ourselves, our upper body with the bar, so that they're one thing, and then the earth, we drive it away. Okay, back down, keeping everything in line with the legs, back up. If we need to re-grip it at a point, reset, get that click, make sure that you get that tension into the bar and then drive it away. Again, the purpose of that intent of getting the tension to the bar is to connect the bar with our upper body, so the upper body and the bar are the same thing. We're gonna do 6 to 8 reps here, especially in the later sets. I'd rather get down to 6, so we're really pushing that weight today. Okay? Then we're gonna be on the sled. If you don't have the sled, any sort of locomotion is great. You can push a plate, you can just run sprints, you can try to push an immovable object, that's fine. If you do have a sled, we're gonna do something a little fun today, where we're gonna be tight up onto the sled. So I'm gonna be close to the sled. I don't necessarily wanna be way far away from it. I wanna be tight to it like this, and I'm gonna jump from one foot to the other, almost like a sprint, okay, but it's more of a hop. A lot of folks kind of compare running and sprinting to just a hop from one to the other. We're kind of playing right there with that concept. So we're getting our body is tight. I have my left foot up towards the sled. I'm going to push off. My body stays tight to the sled, and I'm just jumping from one foot to the other. Okay? I'm going to go down and back. I'll let my heart rate come back down. And we're really pushing the weight today. So maybe 3 minutes of a rest, maybe 4 minutes of a rest. Let that heart rate come all the way back down to sub 110, sub 100 before we attack this deadlift again. We're gonna do 4 working sets. We will ramp up. We always like to warm up deadlifts by deadlifting, warm up squats by squatting, warm up pressing by pressing. You get the picture. So we'll ramp up. Go 4 sets of 6 to 8 here on the deadlift. We're gonna try to push this sled. Again, if you don't have the sled, any sort of locomotion, you can get a plate on the ground. Push that works as well. For our second series in this workout, we're gonna start with curl squats. So we're gonna have 2 dumbbells. I've got just 2 25s here. We're gonna hold just like this. Notice that the dumbbells are not touching each other. They stay apart this whole time. My elbows are slightly forward from my torso, and all I'm gonna do is squat straight up and down. Now I'm intentionally pulling myself down. I'm not letting that pelvis move. I'm using my abs to keep it tight, and I'm pulling myself down, keeping my chest tall. I'm gonna hold this position for 15 reps. Okay, I'm gonna try to not stop moving. So I don't wanna pause the top, I don't wanna pause the bottom. I wanna keep moving the whole time, and that'll help me get some of that good time under tension. After that, I'm gonna roll in. I'm gonna have 2 bands. I attach them high to the pull-up bar. You can attach them, I've got some you can see attached over here to the pull-up bars there. Pull-up bar is perfect. Anything up high works. I'm gonna hold both ends of the band. I've got 2 bands set up, both ends here. I'm gonna get back, and I have tension on the bands. I'm gonna chop to my left side, and when I come up, I stand, and then I chop down. So every time I stand, squat. I'm gonna alternate sides here. Stand up, chop down. Stand up, chop down. I'm keeping a lot of weight in my toes, that way I don't rock back and forward. Okay, do a few to get the rhythm, and then we're gonna move. We're gonna do 30 total, 15 each side. So here's how it's gonna look in real time. Cool, so we're gonna go to 15 each side, so count to 30. I use the orange bands there. The red bands are probably where most of us are gonna fall. If you're really working on improving some strength, maybe you wanna go a little bit lighter. But really try to push it. You can actually change up. Maybe do the first set with red, second set with red, third set with orange. That's fine too. Whatever you need to do. We want to move fast. Fast, the big range of motion. Get those hands both on the same side. Try to get them all the way down to your legs. Then, for the last exercise, somebody got crazy strong on me. I use the diesel strap here. You can also use just a regular tricep cable rope. That's fine too. I slip my hands into the loops. I slip them all the way. We're gonna do this just like we do the sled. We want to avoid overpowering with our grip. So we don't want to squeeze hard here because we want to focus on pulling back with the shoulders and the elbows. Or excuse me, the shoulders and the upper back. Where are my hands and my elbows and my shoulders are all going to stay at the same height. So I don't want to get my hands way down here, and I don't want to be way up here either. I'm real smooth. Notice how I'm not even gripping this strap. If you have a rope, you'll have to hold it a little bit, but you really don't want to dead squeeze it. Keep your head still. Don't turn to the left, turn to the right, look up. Don't get a lot of body English going. Keep all that still and get a nice smooth row. Make that lightweight hard. You can try to also think pulling your hands apart as you row, really targeting that upper back, the rear part of the shoulder as well. So we're going to run through 4 sets of this as well. With our squat hold, the squat curl, we're going to do 15 reps. Again, the key there is not to stop moving. Okay, with our chops, we're moving 30. We're moving fast here. Okay, move those chops. Then, with the face pull, we're going to do 12 to 15 in there. So a lot of reps on this one, okay? Rep heavy. And then we got 4 rounds of that. Again, at the end of that round, you're gonna need to rest 2 minutes, 3 minutes, that's fine, totally fine. Please take it, let that heart rate come back down before you get started. All right, so for our last series of this workout, we're gonna be on the floor. We're gonna do what's called a floor press. So I've got my bench, my barbell set up. If you're not comfortable using a barbell, dumbbells work fine for this. I've got a little blue AirX pad here. Mine's from John Russet. Doesn't have to be from anyone specific. It's just something to get me a little clearance on the ground. So my head and upper back are here. I can push myself up onto my upper back this way. Okay? We're gonna come all the way up, and if we're gonna grab the barbell, there's the knurling, so the rough part versus the smooth part. You can put your thumb anywhere on that line that you want. So a wider grip would be your tip of your thumb. On that knurling line, a narrow grip would be the knuckle of your thumb. Okay, whatever you're comfortable with, we're gonna be here, and then we're gonna pull the bar down, and I'm gonna let my elbows touch the ground. Notice how the bar is at my chest. I don't have it above my face. I'm gonna keep it in that straight line, and as I push up, I'm gonna push the bar together. So my hands are squeezing in together. As I pull down, I'm gonna try to pull the bar apart. That's gonna get a little more activation in the rear delts and the upper back. And then as I push up, it's gonna keep it in the chest a little more. Okay, so I'm pulling down, or pulling apart as I come down, pressing together as I lift up. Again, as I do this, notice how the bar stays over my chest. I don't drift back this way. So I'm gonna do my reps. If you have dumbbells, you can set them down on the ground. Then rack it if you're using the barbell, okay? Be careful with getting in and out of that. Make sure that you're taking your time and that everything's set. And then before you leave, before you let go, make sure that that barbell is back up in that rack. I've seen it happen, it seems common sense, but we've seen some crazy things happen. We're gonna grab a kettlebell, okay? Now I'm gonna do a lateral lunge into a clean. When I do this, I'm gonna step out with my right foot, so my left hand is gonna have the kettlebell. I'm gonna step out, cross the body, push off, and do a clean. Step out, keep that kettlebell tight, and I'm using my force from my leg here to push up. And then I'm using my left leg stability to control my force going to the outside. So I don't want to go here and then roll and then stumble around. I'm trying to control that. A little hint on this clean, we're not trying to flip the kettlebell like this. When I step out, notice that my hand is here, it's pointing away, okay? My palm is back towards the original side, the top of my hand is pointing away. I push off and I'm just rotating. I'm using the force from my leg, so that's all the energy I need, okay? And then I'm gonna rotate my hand and pull it into my body. So I'm trying to take my body, my arm, my kettlebell, and make them all the same thing. So I'll step out to the side, clean, catch. Pause at the top. Be dramatic with it. Get a little step out here. Get a good reach there. Right here. And then pause. Be dramatic with that pause. Then we're gonna take a med ball up against the wall, and we're gonna rotate and throw. So we're gonna have a big rotation and throw it up against the wall, catch. Throw it up against the wall, catch. Throw it up against the wall, catch. Then we will switch sides. Go to the other side. Big rotation, throw, catch. Notice I'm throwing with my body. I counter rotate, I push off my toe, and I have a little scoop toss, an underhand toss. Throw it against the wall, it's gonna come right back at you. Catch it, and we're trying to go pretty quick there. We're gonna do 8 on each side. So 8 to 10 of the presses. And then we have 8 to 10 each side here on the clean. I try to go a little bit heavier, okay, really work that stability, so maybe 8 on each side. And then 8 on each side for the med ball throws. Make sure you're not throwing against drywall. Make sure it's a brick wall, a cinder block wall, or a wood wall, or a specific throwing wall. Don't throw against drywall, it's never good. We're trying to make those throws as hard as we can. If you're doing it right, you're gonna throw it right through that drywall, so don't do that. If you don't have somewhere to throw a ball, we can just get a band and attach it and do band chops with that as well. All right, so we have 4 rounds of this, 8 to 10 on everything, 8 to each side on the ball throw or the band rips. Have fun with it, fam.